Good evening, friends. We'll get started. Very good evening. Good evening, friends. We'll get started. So what do we do today? What's the plan? Okay. We'll wait for others also to join. Maybe we'll start in a couple of minutes. So we have one more week to go. So today I'm planning to talk about how to handle errors. Okay. How to handle errors. Okay. So this week we will focus on programming, and next week 2 days, that is 19th and 20th, we'll talk about machine learning. Okay, what machine learning is and what you can expect in machine learning. Okay, so today we will talk about error handling. Okay, so let's get started. Now, if you look at any programming language for that matter, we have three types of errors. Okay, if you look at any programming language, we have three types of errors. So, topic for today is error handling. Okay. Okay. And if you look at any programming language, right, we have three types of errors. Okay. Your first type is called syntax error. Okay. Syntax means, you got grammar wrong, right? Okay. You have not followed some rule. You have not followed the basic rule. Okay. So when you don't follow basic rule, you will get error. Okay. So for example, let's say when you write print, okay. So I say print hello, isn't it? Now you don't give this bracket. This is called syntax error. Okay. Or let's say you don't give this. Okay. So when I run this program, say syntax error, isn't it? You get syntax error. And okay, that you have not followed the basic rule. Okay. And it is one of the easiest error to correct, because your program will not run. Program will not run if you don't fix this error. Okay. So if I try to run, it will not run, isn't it? So you have syntax error, which is not following the given rule, right? This is your example, right? And syntax errors have to be corrected, only then program can run. Okay, so that's what makes it one of the easiest errors to look for. Okay, easiest errors to look for. Okay, and it is easy to fix because it will tell you where the problem is. Okay, it will tell you where the problem is. Now, second type of error. Okay, now here we don't have to worry about it, because whenever we are talking about a topic, right? So we know, right? When I tell you print, I tell you the rules, how to, how to write a function, how to write print, how to write quotation, right? So we have already seen this. We have already seen this. Okay, we have already learned. Second type of error, okay, is called as logical error. Okay, now logical error, okay, is the most difficult of all to find because program will not tell you there is an error. Okay, so for example, okay, the question is, okay, the question is, okay, okay, so there's a question from Hanish. Hanish, we have already started. We have done more than 20 days. You can, I'm going to share the link. You can actually go and refer all the old content and the videos. Okay, we have only one more week of training. We'll finish it off by next Monday or Tuesday. Okay, by Monday or Tuesday, we will finish it off. If you want to see, you can visit the link which I have provided. Okay, this link has content and links to all the past videos. You can watch the video from day one. Okay, so I think today is 22nd or 23rd day. Okay, okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry guys, I had to go out. I'm back now. Okay, so I was talking about logical error. Okay, so let's take an example. So let's say I ask you a question. Okay, if I have 5 apples and I get 3 more from my brother. Okay, how many apples do I have? Okay, so this is a problem, right? So your question, your answer should be print 5 plus 3, right? But let's say you made 5 minus 3. Okay, this is example of logical error. Okay. Logic says that you have to add 5 and 3. But by mistake, by you forgot or, by mistake, you actually did subtraction. Now, when you run it, it will run without any problem, isn't it? Okay. But this answer is not correct. But this answer is not correct at all. Okay. This is called as logical error. Logical error when you miss the logic. Okay. When you put, okay, different logic, okay, we get logical error. And this is one of the most difficult thing to fix because you're getting the answer and answer is not matching. So you're thinking, why the answer is not matching? It happens, right? When you're solving maths problem, right? Many times you won't get answers and you check the key and key is different answer and your answer is different and you'll be thinking, why it is different? I did everything correct. Then why it is wrong? Correct? So this is an example. This is, okay, of example of logical error. But this is again, this is up to you, right? This we cannot teach, right? You need to figure it out yourself. Okay. The problem comes, the one that we are going to handle or talk about today is called, okay, runtime error. Okay. We call it as runtime error. Okay. Runtime error, okay, is when, okay, you get error at the runtime. Okay, mostly based on the values. Okay. Now, let's say I want to find division of two numbers. I want to find division of two numbers. Okay. So, I'll say A equal to 10, B equal to 3, C equal to A by B. A by, not Q by B, A by B. Okay. Now, so syntax is right. Okay. This is how we write division, right? And everything is fine. Everything is fine except, okay, if user enters value of B as 0. Okay. When user enters value of B as 0, that's when you get runtime error. Okay. This is called zero division error. Okay. So this is the runtime error. Okay. This is called zero division error. I'm going to copy this value and paste it here. Okay. You get zero division error. Okay. Now, there's one more thing. Okay. You write input. Okay. You write input and I'm going to say ch or num1 equal to int of input, enter a number. Syntax correct, no problem. I run it. Okay. Enter a number, I enter 10. So num1 is 10. But what if by mistake you enter, okay, A. So you get this value error. Okay. This is your runtime error. Okay. Other day we were talking about reading a file. Other day we were talking about reading a file and opening a file, right? So we say file handle equal to open, okay, open, and I'm going to open abc.txt for reading. Okay. Now, when you run it, we don't have ABCD here. Okay. File not found. If ABC text is there, it will work fine. But Here it is not there because, okay, because of which we got runtime error, which is file not found. Okay, file not found. Now these are called your runtime errors. Okay, these are runtime errors. So these will not give you error most of the time. When everything is fine, it will not give you error. But if some data goes wrong, you get an error. If some data goes wrong, you get an error. So how do I fix, how do I solve such errors? That is what is the purpose of today's session. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So there are steps how to handle runtime errors. Okay. So there are steps. Okay. I'm going to say file one. File one is there. Okay. So first step is to identify the block of code that can give you runtime error. Okay. First identify the block of code that can give you runtime error. That can give you runtime error. Okay. So now that you know which block is giving you runtime error, we put that block in try. Try is where the block of code that can give you error is put. Okay. Now, third step is using except. Okay. Using except keyword. Catch that error. Using except keyword, catch that error. Okay. These are the three mandatory steps. These are three mandatory steps. Identify the block of code that is going to give you error. Okay. Then you put that block in try. Okay. And then using except keyword, catch that error. There are two more other steps optional. If you want, you can do it. If you don't want, you don't do it. Okay. Is your else. Else, okay, something, okay, or code that will run if no error. And then step 5, again optional, is called finally. Okay. The code in this will run, okay, irrespective of error or no error. Even if you get error, finally will run. If you don't get error, okay, you will you will see it. Okay. So the block of code you want to execute when there is error or no error. Both the case, you want to execute it. That's when we use this one, finally. Okay. So let's try to solve each of the three examples, the three errors that I have mentioned. Okay. So first we'll try to talk about this zero division error. Okay. Now before that, let's take this number only. Okay. we'll try to see this value error. Okay. So first let's write this. I'm going to say num1 equal to int of input, enter the numerator, okay, and num2 equal to int of input, enter the denominator. Enter the numerator and enter the denominator. Okay. Okay. So now, if the user is entering a non-number, right? Okay, number, enter the numerator, okay? And here I enter A, you get value error, okay? So these are the block of code that can throw error, right? So for step one, identify the block of codes. So these are the two statements, two line of code, which can throw error, isn't it? They can throw error. So we put, those code in try block. So we have written try, and I want to push this here. Okay. So now we have to catch the error. Step number 3, except, and I'm saying value error. Okay. I have to copy this exact, this something which is before semicolon. Okay. After colon, we don't want that text. We want something which is before, the name that is before colon. Okay. So except, okay. And here, okay, sorry, except the value error. And I'm saying print, sorry, please enter a valid integer value of, see, user may not know what is integer, isn't it? Please enter a valid numeric number. Okay. Okay. So now when I run it, okay, enter a number. Okay, so this is the previous one. So I'm saying enter numerator. Okay. When I enter the numerator, if I enter invalid number, I am getting this error. Please enter a valid number. And program has ended, but without giving any error. Enter a number. I'm saying enter numerator. Okay. When I enter the numerator, if I enter invalid number, I am getting this error. Please. Okay. Now, how do I fix it? Okay. So program is ending, right? But let's say if the user has entered valid, then I said optional is else. Okay. So in else, okay, we can say division, right? So I'm going to say div equal to num a by num2. Print the division is div. Okay. So now when I run it, I enter a number. Okay. Now numerator is 10, denominator is E, error. Sorry, please enter valid number. Okay. And I can say, and try again, something like this. Okay. So now when you enter invalid, oh, sorry. When you enter, okay, let me comment it out, okay, so that we don't have to run this again and again. Okay. So enter numerator, I enter valid numerator, but I enter invalid denominator. Sorry, please enter valid number and try again. Now, if I enter valid numbers, 10 and 5, so division is 2, right? You can get this. Okay. Awesome. Now, here division can also have a problem, isn't it? What if I enter numerator as 10, but denominator as 0? Division by 0 error, right? 0 division error. So this block can also give errors. I'll put try here. Try here. And so not here, sorry. Try will not be here. Okay. Try will come when you divide this, isn't it? When you divide this, you get try. So I'm going to say try this. And if you get except 0 division error. 0 division error. I'm going to say print since numerator is 0, we cannot proceed. Okay. So except 0, numerator is this, else. Else means if there is no error, right? If there is no error, then you print this value. Okay. Now let's try to see. Numerator, I enter 10. Denominator, I enter 0. Okay. Since numerator is 0, we cannot proceed. Right? So this is how you can handle these errors. Okay. So, now I could have done same program. I'm going to write in different way. Okay. So here, method 1, we have nested try, right? That means try inside try. We have try inside try. Okay. Second method is we'll put all the steps in in one try. Okay, we'll use one single try. Okay, and after using single try, you tell me, okay, what is the advantage of using one single try and what is the disadvantage of using one single try. Okay. Okay, so let's try to use it. Okay, I'm going to say, okay, so try, okay, try, okay. Now, since all the 3 lines, okay, so we have 3 lines of code, isn't it? We have 3 lines of code. Okay, we have 3 lines of code. Which are the 3 lines of code? Input value A1, input value 2, and input value 3, isn't it? Input value 1, Okay. And you have okay. And then the division thing, right? Input 1, input 2. Okay. Okay. And then we calculate the division equal to num1 by num2. Okay. So this entire 3 lines of code, okay, can throw error, right? So how do you catch different error? So you have to say except, okay, value error. Okay. You can say print, you have not entered a valid, you have not entered valid number. Okay. Now you can say except. You can write as many steps as possible. Okay. You can write multiple steps. Okay. So except, then zero division error. Okay. Print cannot proceed further as you have entered zero in denominator. Okay. And if you have else, and else I'll say print the answer is div, isn't it? You can have finally. Finally will be called, okay, in both error or no error. Okay. When there's error, okay, or no error, you will get, okay, finally called. So I'm going to say print, okay, thank you for using the program. Okay. So let me move this everything from here to different location so that we'll have only one thing to look at. Okay, so let's run it. Enter the numerator. I say A. Thank you. You have not entered valid number. Thank you for using the program. Okay. Now enter valid number, but for denominator, I don't enter valid number. I enter G. So you get this error. Now I run it again. Numerator 10, denominator 2. Okay, answer is 5. Thank you for using the program, right? See, thank you for using the program has come before also when we had error and is coming now when there is no error. Now let's try here. Numerator 15 and denominator 0. Cannot proceed further as you have entered 0 in the denominator, right? So you can give try block and you can catch, or you can give except, multiple except. Okay, you can have one more down, one more down, one more down. Okay. So, when you have multiple except, it checks first, second, third, so on. Okay. Now, you can, there's something called as exception. Okay. Now, this is the, exception. Now, exception is base class. Any error, it will go to exception. Any error, it will go to exception. Now, here, since we are using value error and zero division error, so if zero division error is there, this will catch here. If value error is there, it will go here. Okay. At one time, only one except will be called. So even though exception catches all the error, okay, let me add this. Some error has occurred. Please recheck and try again. Okay. So exception catches all the errors, but since we are writing at the third position, it will check for first two errors. Only if when first two errors is not found, it will come here. Okay. So So when I run it, and when you enter some S or something, okay, it says you have not entered. The exception has not called. But if I put exception before, okay, because it checks the exception line by line, okay. If you put exception before as a first, then none of the other exception will be called, okay. So when I run it now, enter numerator, I enter A. Some error has occurred. See, it's not going to value error, okay. It is going to this exception itself and says exception has occurred, okay. You need to try again, okay. So this is how, we actually write our program. You can use a while loop for the use till you get a valid input from the user. Okay. Perfect. Anything else? Any question here, guys? Okay. You can write your own error also. Okay. You can even write your own error here. So this is the error handling technique. Okay. We'll end it here for today. Okay. I want you to practice and let me know if you have any questions. Any questions from any other topic? No, good. So please practice. From tomorrow, we'll talk about some advanced topics. Okay. I'm going to talk about NumPy, Pandas. Okay. Okay. Tomorrow, I'll talk about NumPy. Okay. SciPy. Okay. We'll talk about Pandas. Okay. We'll also learn how to plot graphs. Okay. Matplotlib. Okay. So this is what I plan to cover for next 5 days. Okay. And then the next week, okay. Next week, we'll talk about machine learning. What machine learning is, what do you expect? So we'll talk about machine learning. Okay. So yes, if there are no questions, we'll end it here. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Okay. With Pandas. Okay. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.